everyone, we reached the land of 1/8 of my own heritage, Ireland, which means I'm probably a far-off distant cousin of our favorite Irishman, Potter. For those who don't know, Potter has helped us out when many...
I always feel like when people say like I'm 1/8 something, like I'm like an American Irishman or something like that. I always feel like that's like the dumbest shit ever. Cause like just because you say like your ancestors were Irish like fucking 20 generations back doesn't mean that you're Irish in any sense of the fucking word. Like what was the last time you fucking like did anything fucking like had related to anything Irish besides like St. Patrick's Day where you just got fucking blackout drunk, man? Like imagine that shit, like those people that do that.
Many of the animations in the past, and Potter has been such a great guy, so we decided to fly Potter out here to literally be in Potter's own country's video. Potter, you rock, man.
It's pronounced Potter.
Patter. Like ladder.
It's time to learn
Come on, man. It's all Patty from the pop, man.
I've been
Come
calling
on, man.
Potter for like 2 years now. I'm not changing my mind. Anyway, we've reached Ireland.
And I'm here to correct him if he gets anything wrong. So don't worry, lads.
Yeah, that is so true, Potter.
I want to hear that shit. Welcome back to another episode of Frizzle Complain. Listen, I want to hear that shit. I may be complaining about a lot of shit, okay? But I'm right, okay? Fuck you. I'm right. You're wrong. Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. Ireland. I know everything. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm always right.
Emerald Isle, Europe's rain shield, the McNugget. Ireland is loaded with so many notable spots and regions.
And there's a town called Dingle. First of all, Ireland is the third largest island in Europe, located in the North Atlantic Ocean, separated from
That's
Great
actually
Britain by
massive.
the North Channel, the Irish Sea, and St. George's Channel. Did you notice how I deliberately...
Wait, what other like islands are bigger than fucking Ireland? Besides, like, I guess the UK, you know, like that massive fucking island. And I guess Corsica, maybe? Wait, am I saying that right? No, I don't. Like it's Sicily. That's the island. I guess that maybe Sicily.
avoided...
Oh yeah, Iceland. Of course, man. Of course. But Greenland is not in Greenland is not in Europe. You dumbass. The fuck do you? What? Oh man, listen, man.
Yeah, good call.
But yeah,
Now, here's
Iceland
the thing
and
that's
I
a little
guess you know, the UK.
Ireland's subdivisions. Let's just get it over with quick and fast.
So when discussing the independent sovereign state, most people are referring to the Republic of Ireland, which makes up these 5/6 of the island. And unless mentioned otherwise, this is the Ireland we'll be mostly discussing in this episode.
To this day, the last fifth northern part of Ireland here is actually part of the UK. And
Yeah,
it
the
doesn't
Northern
even know
Ireland.
exactly what to label itself. Some call it a province, some say it's a region, some say it's a constituent country. But the point is, the UK holds on to it.
Which
I always felt it was weird that they held on to it. I always felt that, but in some sense of the word, right? Isn't it like, as far as I remember, like, and I'm not a fucking Ireland or Northern Ireland fucking expert here. Like, do not get me wrong, right? But isn't it mainly a what do you call it, a Protestant place? And don't they also have more in common with like the people from like the England and Scotland now, comparatively to the original Irish, because there was so much like immigration and stuff like that. Again, I'm not a fucking like massive nerd about that. Okay, people can probably correct me about that. But like that's like as far as I remember from like learning that in English class where we talked about this
as you
issue.
can imagine, has created some interesting feelings in the past with the Irish.
It's
Yeah,
weird though,
IRA.
because the people here can choose their own citizenship, be it British, Irish, or both. On the west side, the
That's
Northern
lit.
Ireland border just juts into the farmlands, ending at a small village called Manger, and provides a 7-kilometer wide corridor to the town of Bundoran for the rest of the Republic to enter into Donegal County.
And then you have the strange Penne Enclave right across the Finn
What?
River, with only a 1/10 of a kilometre wide entrance that Ireland grabbed and is still part of Monaghan County. This in return gave a small exclave to the UK, an unnamed patch of land with only 3 small farming homes.
The only way to get in besides swimming across the river would be by taking the most name-switched international road on the island, the Irish N54,
What?
which turns into the A3 highway once you cross into Northern Ireland. Then it switches back into the N54 once you cross into the exclave. Then it reverts back to the A3 again
What?
for about 2 kilometers, and then back to the N54 once you cross back into the Republic of Ireland. So literally, it's like Irish.
That seems so complicated, though. Like, can you guys make some better borders or something? Like, that seems so. I get it. You're just like driving through, right? It doesn't really matter all that much, right? But the borders just don't really seem to make sense. Like, why not just make it like a fucking like flat line, or like just like curve without near a river, or like some homesteads, or like a city or stuff like that? Why not just do that? Like, maybe I'm just not understanding. Like, again, I know there's like a lot of like tension there, but like, goddamn, were made long ago, yeah. But like, it couldn't. Again, it doesn't really matter that much if they change a little bit today. Just like make it make more sense, maybe. Like I don't know. Maybe again,
British, Irish, British, Irish.
Or as I like to call it, my dating life. Also, the UK was like, instead of following the Foyle River all the way up to the Foyle Loch, why don't we just swerve left through the farmland, take the entire city of Derry? Because logic, basically.
That just seems like a massive fuck you to Ireland. There, I gotta say that. Like that seems very. More of like we want to keep as much as possible rather than just like making it right. Like do the river would makes most sense. That's also usually where European borders are capped at: rivers, mountain lines, stuff like that. That seems fucking dumb.
To an Irish person, the entire island of Ireland, including Northern Ireland, is just Ireland.
So if you consider the administrative divisions, the Republic of Ireland is divided into 26 counties. However, many also include the extra 6 from Northern Ireland and call it 32. But then there's
Derry is our haha Britain. Damn, yeah, literally, man.
County councils, Limerick and Waterford, and the 3 city councils, Dublin, Galway, and Cork, making 31 local authorities in the Republic of Ireland, and technically 37 again if you include Northern Ireland's counties, and the capital of Dublin.
Sounds about right.
Okay, yeah,
Good job.
I got that right. Woo.
Historically, though, Ireland was also kind of split into 4 provinces that...
That's true. That's also what you see when you play EU4, Europa Universalis 4, because I love that game. But yeah, as far as I know, like there's something about like a hand that reached is why like a lot of like the country flags have like a hand on it. Like a dude chopped off one of his hands and threw it to on like the what do you call it, on the land, and then then they were allowed to like claim that land they wanted, because like he threw, like he chopped off his own hand or something, and that's why there's a hand on like a lot of the flags. Like Ulster, I'm pretty sure has it, but again, I'm not fucking an Ireland fucking expert, but yeah, I gotta do one push up now because fuck you. Okay, goddamn. Oh, straight back, down, and up. Fuck my life, man. Ay. Fucking funny, dude. Fucking funny, okay? Goddamn, fucking funny.
Many people still refer to today. They are Connacht, Leinster, Munster, and Ulster. Northern Ireland is often referred to as Ulster, as it encompasses most of the counties that make up the historical province.
Otherwise, the largest cities after Dublin are Cork and Limerick, with the largest airports being Dublin, Cork, and Shannon.
Yeah, my friend
Keep in
is
mind that Northern Ireland was included in this.
one of my friends has like a lot of family in Ireland as well. He visits there like pretty much every single year, and he says it's fucking beautiful in Ireland. Like if he could, he would want to visit like every year. But he's also like part Finnish, so like he also goes a lot to Finland. Well, this would be a bit then. Well,
would take the number 2
maybe
spots on each of those lists.
In addition to being an island itself, Ireland also hosts hundreds of smaller little islands and islets. The most populated ones being
What's an
Great Island
islet?
by Cork, Achill Island in Mayo, and Grumna and the Arn Islands in Galway.
Finally, some places of interest across Ireland might include places like Trinity College,
The Guinness Storehouse,
the Neolithic tomb of Newgrange, which is
oh, that looks cool. But I just, it's kind of like seeing the, a lot of things I've kind of gotten disappointed with seeing. It's like when people show like pictures like the Little Mermaid, and then you look at the Little Mermaid and it looks like it fucking sucks, right? Like I just imagine sometimes when it look like this, like cool things, it just sucks.
is older
maybe.
than the pyramids of Giza.
the Rock of
What?
Cashel,
Older than the pyramids? What? Hold up, what?
Storehouse,
The Neolithic tomb of Newgrange, which is older than the pyramids of Giza.
the Rock
That's wild. That's actually wild. What?
of Cashel,
Glendalough and Wicklow, the Blarney Stone of Cork,
that island that was filmed at the end of Star Wars is called Skellig Michael.
Tory
Fuck that Star Wars movie, man.
Island, which kind of has like its own king.
Scotia's grave, where an Egyptian princess is buried, supposedly. I didn't know about that one.
You didn't even know that. Wow. I just found it off of Atlas Obscura. The Mound of Hostages,
The Cade of Fields,
the Sky Garden.
Who Cares
Oh.
Lighthouse, the oldest continuously used lighthouse still operating in Europe.
You live right next to it.
Yeah.
Sean's Bar,
Damn.
the oldest surviving pub and possibly.
Oh yeah. I remember there was Jacksepticeye, the guy from Ireland, the massive YouTuber. He apparently lived near Sean's Bar. I just remember that from a video.
The entire world.
And of course, way too many churches, abbeys, castles, dolmens, tombs, everything else to list.
Way too many of them.
Way too many.
Oh, and avoid Temple Bar, right, in Dublin. That's like a tourist trap, and you can't actually meet any real Irish people there. It's just don't go there. Don't go to Temple Bar.
Give it a miss. Go to Coppers.
Coppers.
Yeah.
Ah, beer. You guys know your way around the pint, don't you?
Oh, well, Irish.
His name is Allah.
I don't
Allah.
actually
What?
drink.
Oh, okay. Huh.
After that manic code.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Wait, what the fuck?
Ireland is very green.
Very
The
green.
end.
Well, yeah. well, yeah, obviously it's called like the Green Isle, whatever you call it, man. Like Emerald Isle. I'm sorry. Like I gotta get used to all the Isle right now, man. Fuck, you know.
All right, so there's a little bit more to it than that.
Ireland is a post-glacial carved mineral and sandstone island with about 12 small mountain ranges, the majority of which are located in the north, west, and south.
You'll notice looking at the map that the east coast of Ireland seems to be relatively smooth and straight, whereas the west coast of Ireland seems to be all choppy and serrated with inlets and peninsulas. Almost like if you took a ball of clay and just spread it across a flat surface in one direction.
One direction.
Anyway, the tallest peak is Mount Carntool at about 1,000 meters.
And the longest and most important...
I always get so jealous, man. I always get so fucking jealous when like I hear about like other countries having like these large mountains and stuff like that. Because like in Denmark, like we got nothing like that at all. Like our shit is like fucking nothing compared to any of these like other countries. I think our largest point is like 150 meters or something. That's like the extent of it. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks.
River being the River Shannon.
And a large lake on the entire island being Loch Ness in Northern Ireland. However, if we're talking about the Republic of Ireland, the largest would be Loch Corrib in West Galway.
The west side is also home to the most notable natural landmark, the Cliffs of Moher, that rise about 120 meters straight up from the ocean.
Whoa.
Otherwise, you have the Sleevely Cliff a bit further up north and into the UK's Northern Ireland.
I would love to see stuff like that. Like I feel like I've seen so much of Europe now. I would love to go to maybe like the Ireland now. I should consider doing that actually. Isn't the highest elevation in the Netherlands like 10 meters? Probably, man, or like minus 10 or something. Like it's probably most of it under the water, you know. Like I don't know.
You have the Giant's Causeway, a series of hexagonal volcanic plug steps that just jut into the ocean side.
What? That's lit.
The Giant's Causeway, a series of hexagonal.
That's like fucking Minecraft in the Nether, man. Like the new area they added. Like what the fuck?
Volcanic plug steps that just jut into the ocean side.
I love how you say that. Hexagonal.
Hexagonal.
Hexagonal. Now, despite being located fairly north in latitude, Ireland actually experiences a strange weather phenomena in which it actually kind of acts like a rain shield for the UK. It takes all the warm air released by the North Atlantic Gulf Stream that starts all the way from the Caribbean. This means that although Ireland is on the same relative latitude as Newfoundland, Canada, they remain about 9 degrees Celsius or about 17 degrees Fahrenheit warmer, rarely reaching the freezing point, which in return means they hardly ever get snow. However, that again in return means Ireland gets a ton of rain. Like seriously, over half the year is drenched. You only get like 2 months of sunshine and then it's back to the downpour. I mean, wouldn't that make you guys like kind of depressed?
Why do you think drinking's a thing in Ireland? Speaking of which,
true. It's the same in Denmark, man. There's also a lot of drinking in Denmark. Like I wouldn't say like our weather is definitely not as bad as like in Ireland. And not as bad as in UK, but it's pretty damn fucking close, like in Denmark, man. But fucking hell, like I would probably also drink myself into delirium every single night if I had to live in a country that's that fucking wet.
The abundance of rain allows Ireland to actually flourish in flora and agriculture.
I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm pretty sure Ireland, you know, because of their past, they are also the most exporting country of food for like for donations and like for Africa, for like places that don't have a lot of food. They're apparently like the countries that exports the most of their food to those kind of like organizations and stuff like that. As far as I remember, I'm not exactly sure about that, but I remember like reading about that in high school. To be honest, I prefer too much rain than not enough. That's I actually agree with that. Like those like days where it's just like hot. It's like disgustingly hot and it's just dry. All the grass you step on is just like because like it's just so, and like you just like maybe you spit on the ground and just like evaporates immediately. Like I would prefer having like a bit like more rain than having that kind of shit like I experienced down in Italy. Which you still streaming? Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Green color. Come across
welcome, boy.
Buds,
Welcome.
Sugar beets, and grains like barley, oats, and wheat, which, as you can imagine, has a large portion that goes towards Ireland's most famous product, beer.
Beer! Ireland without beer is like Mexico without tacos, Koreans without kimchi, Argentinians without salsa, Bob Saget without his telekinetic laser vision.
Yeah, beer.
Goddamn. How doing, man? I finally was able to watch you. Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. How about you? I remember the grass was completely yellow here, and when it got green or even like I feel it's so disgusting when you're in a country, right, where where you have to where like it's so disgustingly dry. I'm a guy that I like damp places, like like a lot of moisture in the air, kind of like in Denmark, which is pretty much just all the time. There's also a reason why whenever it gets just a little bit like too dry in Denmark, it's like, do not go outside, do not don't start any fires, just like it's like a little bit. While let's say like it was Italy or something, they'd be like, it is what it is. But in Denmark, it's like, don't do it, come on now. It could be better. I hope you're getting better, man.
Being Irish, that even priests and nuns get
a little bit later
and share a pint of Guinness.
Which, by the way, the Bible never condemns alcohol, just drunkenness. So know your limits.
Yeah, we go to confessional a lot.
Otherwise, some top notable Irish dishes might include things like
box tea,
potato bread.
Whoa! Now we gotta go through this like.
Otherwise, some top notable Irish dishes might include things like.
Like, I can make that's creme fraiche. This actually looks pretty good. I'm guessing this is made with eggs and potatoes, maybe. But it looks pretty good.
Box tea,
potato bread.
Potato bread. Of course, it had to be potatoes. I gotta say, like, I've never really been a big fan of like. I'm not a big bread guy unless it's like it's rye bread, because again, Danish national bread, right? But I've never been a big like kind of like bread kind of guy. And also, I've eaten dinner in UK, and I just from like I know it's bad to like put a resemblance between the UK and like England and Ireland, right? But I just feel like every single kind of English food I ate sucked. So I'm kind of like putting that kind of shitty food on the Irish as well. But I'm guessing the food is probably gonna be better, because like Ireland are like huge like food exporters and stuff like that. So I'm guessing they probably have like a lot better food. Fuck, they get bacon, it's good. Okay, sure, okay, man. Okay, I'm gonna
brown
eat
soda bread,
Bacon and cabbage.
too many stews to list, like coddle and.
That just looks like bratskartoffler in Danish. Like that doesn't
Irish stew, black pudding.
Black pudding?
Oysters and Guinness. And overall, you can find potatoes cooked various
Irish potato. Man, I love potatoes though, man. One thing, I think people that talk shit about potatoes are dumb. Completely fucking idiotic, man. Potatoes are the best sort of shit that goddamn exist, man. Sorry, cough. Potato is like, you can use them for everything. You can make potato boats with oil and like paprika, all that sort of stuff. Delicious. You can make French fries. You can make like, you can cook them. You can bake them. You can fucking use them for everything, like sauce. You can use them in soup. You can put them on fucking pizza. You can do everything with a fucking potato, man. Those things are like probably like the fucking best thing that ever goddamn existed, man. I could not like beans and bread. Vince, how about you go dig a hole and jump into it?
Like everything.
In addition, Ireland is also the perfect habitat for about 26 species of mammals, like the red fox.
You can fuck him, FrizoYT. Exactly, man. You can indeed fuck a potato. You just need a lot of potato, because I've got a big cock,
European hedgehog,
the stoat,
pygmy shrew,
and badger. And the one land
they got badgers. We don't have those here.
reptile that is native to the country, the
Viviparous lizard. I love lizards, man. I saw them everywhere in Italy.
lizard.
Speaking of which, no, the story of St. Patrick driving all the snakes out of Ireland was probably not true. Ireland most likely never had snakes due to its geographic isolation from the rest of Europe, and also St. Patrick probably wasn't Irish, he was Welsh.
Yeah, lots of misconceptions when it comes to Irish people. Which brings us to...
Bop, bop, bop.
Hey, so Potter.
Fuck the lizard. Man, I love lizards. They're so cool.
Patter. So what does it mean to be Irish?
Oh, we're all about the crack in Ireland, so we are.
Yeah,
Craig?
What? Crack?
Crack every day and night of the week. We love the crack, so I do.
DA, freeze, hands work, see them.
Common misconception. See, we're not actually talking about drugs, we're talking about...
Resisting arrest.
We're not...
First of all, Ireland has about 4.8 million people, over 6 million.
I'm still so surprised that they have less than Denmark. Like, Denmark is like 5.8. And it's always so mentally fucking weird, man, that they have less than us. I know the reason why is because of the whole, English and famine and stuff. That's why, as far as I remember. But it's always so fucking weird, man, that they have so few people in there in like the country. And I'm always kind of like, Denmark has so few people, and then you look at places like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Ireland, and it's just Georgia even. Like, how fuck do you have less than us?
If you include Northern Ireland, and has the highest birth rate.
No, Frizzo, man, last stream that I heard from you in a VOD was fuck the lizards, we should kill them all and make jungles. What? Mate, I changed my mind, okay? I changed my mind. Sorry, just roaming it exactly. It has more people than Denmark. That's true. But again, Czechia has also, always been like a massively industrial, like been able to be very industrialized because they're very, productive people, which means they probably fuck a lot to have more people to produce more. It's about the fucking, man. It's about the fucking, and you guys also didn't really have to deal that much with the British, and a famine and all that,
In the EU, about 83% of the country identifies as ethnically Irish, whereas about 9.5% are white of other nationalities.
Okay.
Whereas the remainder of the country is other groups like Asians, blacks, and who knows, probably some magical wizards or something.
I'm guessing probably also a lot of Indian, if we could prove that. Because in England has a lot of Indians, so I would probably assume that there would also be a lot in Ireland, maybe? I'm just gonna guess.
So the country uses the euro as their currency. They also use the Type G plug outlet, and they drive on the left side of the road.
Now, thanks to modern media,
Dumb. Right side of the road, Chad. Left side of the road, beta cock meal. Drive on the right side. Come on, man. It's not that hard. Can everybody just drive on the fucking right side of the goddamn road, man? It's not that hard. Left side of retard. Exactly, man. They need to drive the fucking right side. Everybody. That's why I'm because probably to somewhere I'm going to what do you call it, England with a friend, and like kind of want to drive, right? Because again he's going to take a driver's license, but I'm so scared of like driving on the left side of the road. It's just stop.
Everyone probably has at least a little bit of exposure to the stereotypical Irish culture one way or another. Like Riverdance or Leprechauns or river dancing leprechauns. But there's an entire world to the deep-rooted Irish identity. First of all, the language.
Technically, Ireland, or at least the Republic of Ireland, is a bilingual country that uses both Irish and English, although English is used far more often than Irish ever is. The
I would
Irish language
expect
is
that to be
related
true,
other Celtic-based languages spoken in Scotland, Wales, and to some extent
I think it's so sad, right, that it's kind of being rooted out, like their original language. I feel like that it's very sad, and I feel that people should use that more, because it's more of like this is a bad, like, people like don't like this word, right, but a nationalistic thing of like speaking your own language, right? And I feel like they should use it more, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm fucking bourbon all the time here, but I feel it's so cool, like having your own language. Also shows like a sense of like your history, that having your own language, and also like it would also it could be cool that they would be promoted more. We should ban all the Irish and Englishmen with dresses that drive on the left side. Exactly, we should do that.
Brittany in France.
Just when you thought you were safe after the Iceland episode, Irish comes along and suddenly M and H make a
England
B
tries
sound,
to
D
Ireland
and
tries
H
to
make a G or
ruin
Y
language,
sound,
but it's
B,
going slowly.
H,
Yeah,
and F sometimes
I would
make like
hope
a
so.
W sound.
All right, Paul, let's see you take a shot at saying these words.
All right. R-I-G-late.
Nope, Ariglat, it means go on.
Tavatak.
Nice try. It's
Tapakta.
talk duck, it means important.
Oh,
Letre.
letris.
Letras.
Nah, lehers, it means
Ah,
toilet.
fuck.
Feilnacht.
Actually, that was just one I made up. But nice try.
For a long time, language was suppressed and
Shit,
discouraged by the English-speaking rulers, to the point where a couple of generations were greatly affected and grew up barely knowing their own native tongue.
Today, the language has seen a huge resurgence and is one of the core
Lehers.
subjects in most primary and secondary schools. Although less than half the population claims to be fluent in Irish, and only a few communities actually speak it regularly in daily life, the Irish language still survives into the 21st century.
All the public signs are posted in both languages. They even
Oh!
have an Irish-speaking TV channel, radio station, and even an online newspaper. In order to get a real feel of Ireland, though, you kind of have to know a little bit of history, which will take way too long to explain, but in the
I gotta
quickest way-
say, I would probably prefer growing up in a place where I would learn the Irish language, from like when I grew up, and not having to learn it later, because that would probably be very hard. Again, I always feel like learning new languages is gonna be very hard. But learning it as you grow up, I think that is probably going to be the most effective way of doing it. Same with like English in Denmark as well. You learn it just by growing up. But I just feel like they should promote it more. Irish is retarded. We should destroy their culture, make it shit. Listen, I think, Ventus, I'm sorry, man, but like if it were up to you, you would destroy every single culture and just make every single thing Czech. I love the Irish destroy Czech. Yeah.
Put it
Stone Age,
Celtic culture comes in.
chiefdoms,
High Kings,
Christianity,
Vikings,
Normans,
castles got built.
Black Death,
Henry
I love
VIII
they gave a
split
shout
the
out to
Catholic
the
Church
the
intact.
Danish,
ultra
the Vikings.
plantation and quasi-English rule, Oliver Cromwell,
Wars,
Theobald Wolfe, who led a failed rebellion.
potato famine,
Sons moved to the US and Scotland.
Gaelic revival,
North doesn't agree.
conflict and persecution against Catholics,
Home rule.
home rule suspended,
World War I, Eastern Rising,
IRA fights,
Irish Civil War,
Free Staters won,
World War II they remain mostly neutral,
1969 civil rights marches,
Northern Ireland gets more drama,
they joined the EU,
Good Friday Agreement,
Celtic
Shit.
Tiger,
financial crisis, but they still grow and move forward.
and here we are today.
As mentioned, the largest ethnic group of people in Ireland, the Irish, come from a long line of
Obviously,
people
yeah.
known as the Celts or the Celtic.
Oh, what do you guys think? Like most of Europe, Central Asia, fuck the New World and other parts of Asia. Yep, except for the Trans-Siberian Railway. Vladivostok. Yeah, okay, that is rightful Czechian territory, man. You guys were on that ship before any other nation, man.
It's Celtic, Boston. Celtic.
Not Celtic.
Thousands of years ago, the Celts roamed all across continental Europe. However, the rise of empires and warring people groups kind of pushed them all the way west into the Isles.
Yeah, I'm
The
guessing the like the Romans also had a bit of bit of a thing doing that. Caesar.
Celts had an incredibly complex system of tribes or clans and families that dominated certain regions.
O'Neill,
with chiefs and
O'Donnell.
kings. This is partially why so many people in Ireland have Mech, or the almost exclusively Irish use O prefixes in
O'Donnell.
their last names, which translates to son or descendant. Prior to Christianity, Celts
Romans had a bit of a Lefani. They were a bit of like they were doing a bit of trolling, they're doing a little bit of trolling, what can you do, man? It's just a little bit of trolling.
were primarily farmers and cattle herders with pagan and druid roots.
with some controversial practices recorded by the Romans.
Just saying.
Christianity
Goddamn.
came in, and then Catholicism played a huge role, even to this day.
However, certain ancient traditions still lived on, like the festival of Samhain.
Sound.
Really? What? I thought M and H make a V sound.
Nah, it depends. Sometimes it does, sometimes it
What?
Ugh, your language.
Sound later became known as Halloween, which became popularized
Oh,
and
Donald,
celebrated
exactly.
all across the world today.
However, originally they used to use turnip lanterns, not pumpkins.
That's
Folklore
true.
and
That's true.
traditions.
The jack-o'-lantern was actually turnips. As again, I don't remember I don't remember like how it changed, like really changed. But again, I just remember like I was like one of my teachers. He was reading up from this like fantasy story where it's a guy that is supposed to make 100 or something like turnip lamps for this like devil, and the devil knows because he's like bet his soul if he could do something he would help this guy, right? But like the devil knew that he would never get the turnips for it, so instead of using turnips, he instead used the pumpkin. And the pumpkin, he then makes 100 jack-o'-lanterns with the pumpkin instead. And because the devil never said like a turnip lamp, but just said a jack-o'-lantern, then he wins and the devil loses. And I don't remember what the fuck he gets, but like it's like a story I heard from a long time ago. And I'm also translating this from Danish into fucking English, so
We've all heard of leprechauns, but there's also Fionn McCool and the Fianna of the Fenian cycle, Cuchulainn the Hound,
Did you know that Halloween pumpkins are scary faces, scare away demons? Yep.
and so much more.
And the two most
far as
popular
I remember,
sports, which are almost never played anywhere else in the world, Gaelic football.
And hurling.
Oh yeah, that's like
Gaelic?
Irish,
There's a thing called Gaelic football? What? I've never heard that.
or something, right? Yeah.
Don't call it Quidditch. Oh yeah, this is a hurl.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. How do you play with that?
Why don't we ask Jason Statham?
Speaking of which,
Oh.
there is no universal Irish
Come hail,
accent. You get
sure.
different dialects from different regions. For example,
Oh, this tosser thinks he's great. Now he's on YouTube. I'll wrap this whole round his neck. Big fat head on him.
Well, I came home on a Monday night as drunk could be. I don't know who you are or where you are, and I will find you and return this wallet.
dude, thank God you came here because I would have offended the entire country and gotten stabbed
Shit.
within hours of upload if I attempted that. Otherwise, some
He did really well with the Danish one. Like he was actually really did the real the Danish pronunciation like really fucking well. Again, I gotta give him that though. But yeah,
famous
I think
people
I also would also prefer like he brings in like a person from the country. But again, it's also like a lot of work to get a guy from like every single country, like a girl or something.
Irish descent might include people like
Oscar Wilde,
James Joyce,
Bram Stoker,
Samuel Beckett,
chemist Robert Boyle,
Graham Norton,
I've heard of Robert Boyle before. I've never heard about him before.
James Joyce,
Bram Stoker,
Samuel Beckett,
chemist Robert Boyle,
I've seen that guy before. I don't know who the fuck it is
Graham
though.
Norton,
Terry Wogan,
the Irish
Jacksepticeye. That's like two people I
PewDiePie
kind of
guy,
U2 and Bono,
No clue.
the Script,
No
the
clue.
Dubliners,
No.
Phil Lynott, whom I
Nope.
incorrectly
I have no idea. I got him young. I got Kim Jong.
Referred to as Philly Not in the Guyana episode. Sorry about that.
worries. The Cranberries.
Enya.
Hosier. The Rubber Bandits.
The dude from One Direction.
No
Colin
clue.
Farrell.
Killian Murphy.
Brendan Gleeson.
Saoirse Ronan. I got that.
Nail it. Maureen O'Hara.
Richard Harris.
And Northern Ireland, Liam Neeson.
And Michael
Oh, you missed
Fassbender
it.
is half Irish, so I guess it kind of counts.
Yeah. Some guy called Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor,
Well,
yeah.
according to that one Malaysian guy from Flag Friday, Westlife and Boyzone. Otherwise, we could go on and on about the rich, complex layers of music, dance, literature, symbolism,
Shit,
artifacts,
okay,
traditions,
fuck.
festivals, clothing, customs, and legends. But that would take way too long. And if you want to know more, just watch any episode of Fair City or Father Ted.
Or you could just like talk to an Irish person as well.
Nah, TV's better. TV never gets anything wrong. Sure. In the meantime, Ireland's friend zone in 3,
Call me
2,
Kevin.
1.
Archie game.
No matter where you find them in this
Oh.
world, you know
Yeah,
you're gonna be
that's
lucky
true, that's true.
when you find an Irishman.
First of all, as an EU member state, Ireland has strong ties to many of their continental neighbours, specifically the Catholic countries, like France and Spain. The French and the Irish have a long history of joining up in the squabbles against the British.
And about 60% of students in secondary school learn French. Spain is not only close and does good business, but it's also the #1 tourist destination for the Irish, as about a quarter of their entire population visits at least once a year.
Surprisingly, the Lithuanians have been flocking to Ireland since the 90s after the collapse of the Soviet Union and make up the third largest immigrant group after the British and the Polish.
But keep in mind, the Polish, they like
That's a
go
lot.
everywhere, so it's no shocker. I mean, remember how they made up like 8% of Iceland's population? Now, despite the past drama, Ireland gets along pretty well with the UK. A lot of their imports come from them, and the Irish are an almost integral part of the common British atmosphere, as so many of them live there.
And nonetheless, the best friends of Ireland would actually probably be Scotland in the UK and the USA. Scots and the Irish are
Well, it makes sense, right? Nogla makes Ireland dumber by like 10 numbers. Sure. Well, you know, it do be what it do be, man.
Celtic brothers that have shared cultures since the beginning, as well as some of the same strifes and struggles.
Tons of Irish moved to Liverpool after the potato famine and were generally welcomed by their cousins. I mean, horrible accents aside, have you
Wales
seen that
probably
one
too.
scene
Yeah, I
in
would
Braveheart
guess
where
so
the
as
Irish
well.
mercenaries backstab
But again, it also I would kind of say this, like, I just don't feel like I ever hear about Wales at all. When I hear about like the struggles of like the countries, right? I always hear about like Scotland, and then I hear like Scotland and Ireland, but like I never hear about like the Welsh at all. Or maybe that's just like what I guess like what has come up for me. But I just feel like they are always, you know, like the Welsh are always left out, because the Welsh, it seems like they just kind of like caved in and were kind of like, you know, fuck it, man. Like it just feels like that every single time people talk about them. What the fuck is Wales? That's
British
true. What
and
is
join their
Wales?
Scottish cousins. Yeah, like that.
All my
right?
dudes only talk about Englishmen with dresses and angry green people.
Yeah.
That's
The
true.
USA, though, is like their favourite younger cousin, who is a lot bigger and stronger. Not only do about 30% of their exports go to the US, but after the potato famine, hundreds of thousands of Irish came
That's
flocking
true.
into Ellis Island. And to this day, about 35 million Americans claim to have either partial or full Irish heritage. The largest concentrations on the East Coast in New England. That's about
Imagine having like living there in, let's say, like fucking 20 generations, or like 20, like maybe 15 generations, right? And being like, I want to be like a full-bred fucking Irishman and only sleeping with fucking full-bred Irish people. Imagine that. Just being like, nah, you know, all these other women, nah, fuck that, man. I gotta keep this shit in the family, man. We gotta keep this shit Irish. Imagine not knowing how to grow your main crop. That's true, that's true.
7 times the population of Ireland itself.
It even got to me somehow. Thank you, Grandpa I never met. In conclusion, I'm actually gonna give this to you, man. Take it away.
I would call the Irish, Scots, and Wales the last Celtic nation, like Celtic nations. Britain is technically too, but it seems they aren't fighting anymore. Yeah, you know it is. What
Thank
it
you,
is, man.
Paul. In
Can't always keep
conclusion,
fighting
Ireland
them.
has had to Conor McGregor its way through war, famine, economic recession, terrible leprechaun rapping, and Gerard Butler's horrible accent in P.S. I Love You. Seriously, man, you're Scottish. It shouldn't be that hard. But through all that, we've managed to be the coolest kid on the block, despite a few emotional issues here and there. We're pretty rad, if I say so myself. Go on, Ireland, you beautiful, drunken mess of a nation, you. And you know what? In honour of your 1/8 Irish lineage, I've decided to bestow on you the title of kind of Irish, I guess. Here's
Damn.
1/8 of an Irish shamrock, tied on with a piece.
Bohemia and Denmark were more
Thanks,
cooler. Damn straight, man.
Connor,
Damn
even
straight.
though I always get your name wrong, so yeah.
You do.
Oh.
Title revoked.
No! No! Okay, come on.
We've been through this.
Okay, so it's like ladder, but patter, right? Patter, right? Patter.
Better.
Damn.
Stay tuned. Israel is coming up next.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Oh, it's always a bit hard one when it comes to fucking Israel. Oof. But yeah, again, damn, actually a lot of fun. This one video is good, man. I actually love it, dude. Again, I never really, I always forget about like to like look up these videos, man. We should watch them more.